Hi, my name is Marina Brown, and today I'm going to be discussing something that might seem a little bit crazy at first. However, when you look at the big picture and what's actually happening in our country and countries all around the world, the idea that I'm going to propose is actually a lot less cruel than what is going on right now. As many of you know, we do test products on animals. We test makeup on animals. We test hair care products on animals. We test a lot of household items on animals. And I completely understand that we do need to test things. We have to know that these things are going to be safe before we purchase them and use them. However, I don't believe that we should be using animals for these tests. I believe we should be using human subjects. The first reason that I believe this is because humans are very different than animals, obviously, and one way that is because we as humans have the ability to make decisions and to make choices and to communicate with each other. And animals don't quite have that. They are unable to express their feelings and emotions towards us, obviously. And so these animals are taken completely against their will for absolutely no reason and put through all of these torturous activities. Now, a lot of you might not know exactly what they do have to go through, and some of those tests do include things such as the acute toxicity test, and that is a test basically where they make the animals eat different products or inhale different products, and it can cause a lot of major issues. According to PETA.com, the acute toxicity tests usually causes a lot of things like extreme pain, major seizures, and a lot of external and internal bleeding on these animals. And over 100 million animals around the world are tested in this way every single year, which is absolutely awful to think about. According to the Humane Society International.com, there are also a lot of different tests, like the eye skin irritation test, which doesn't sound that bad. But what that includes is taking animals such as rabbits or small rodents. They pry their eyes open, they dump different products into their eyes. They'll also shave their skin and dump different products on top of their skin, stuff like that. This usually leads to blindness and some severe diseases and irritation, which is absolutely awful. And honestly, I have to wonder if people have become desensitized because this is happening to animals and they have absolutely no way to communicate with us. There's absolutely no way for us to see how miserable it is that they are going through something like this. Now, some people might just not have that kind of sensitivity. Some people might not believe that it matters that these animals are going through that. However, if you'd like to get scientific, we really should be testing on human subjects. Because another reason animals are a terrible subject to test is because they have completely different genes than us. They also get different diseases. A lot of diseases that humans have, animals cannot physically have. So testing these products on animals is absolutely useless. There's no reason to do it. According to care2.com, 9 out of 10 tests that we perform on animals end up failing when humans buy the products. So this is a completely useless form of torture that we are putting these animals through. And if we were using human subjects, it would be a lot more efficient. Now finally, of course, you guys are wondering where we're going to get these human subjects, because we can't take them against their will. That's my entire argument. We can't take animals against their will. Well, we wouldn't take these humans against their will or for not any reason. I have 3 different ideas for the human subjects we could use for these experimentations. The first idea that I had were prisoners, and in plenty of different countries there are a lot worse punishments for crimes that people commit. So if we did take people that went against the law and did something wrong, something that they did because of a choice that they made, we could potentially use them for some of our testing. Another idea is we could potentially use willing participants. And some of you might not think that there are any willing participants out there, but I guarantee you there are. According to theguardian.com, Lush Cosmetics Company began a anti-animal product testing campaign, and a young woman named Jacqueline Trade, she was 24 years old, decided to willingly volunteer for this thing that they put on. Basically, They took her by a leash and brought her out to the front of a store, and they performed all of the tests that they perform on animals on this woman for 10 hours straight. Obviously, we wouldn't need to do that. That was kind of an extreme case, and it was made to build a point. But if she was willing to do that and endure that kind of torture, I guarantee you there are people out there that would be willing to do a little bit less in a little bit less cruel way. And I have a feeling we could find ways to do these tests a lot less cruelly than we do them to animals if we did find willing participants. Now, the final idea that I had with the human subjects were people who are potentially terminally ill, or people that are in a situation where they are not going to be able to recover. We have things like this already. People donate their bodies to science all the time, and people are organ donors. I bet a lot of you are actually organ donors. So if you were to get into a car accident and they weren't able to resuscitate you, they can use those organs and put them to use for somebody else. People donate their bodies to science. That goes in a lot of different directions. So if people were willing to use their bodies for that kind of stuff, we could use that to test products instead of testing them on animals. So there are quite a few different ideas that I have for the human subjects, and I honestly think that that would be a lot more efficient. It would take the cruelty out of the animal testing area. It would be a lot more efficient, and it would make our products more safe because we would know that they were going to work on humans, because the animals obviously have different genes, they have different diseases, and also there's a lot of different objects for the human subjects. So therefore, I do feel it would be a lot better decision to test products on humans rather than animals. Thank you very much.